Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I got in the Adept Heather Austin palette. I am super excited to dive into this and give it a thorough review. Today, what we're going to do with this palette is going to be eye swatches and arm swatches. And then we're going to take a little bit of a dive into all the videos I've seen out there that are duping this palette. I have some opinions on that. So if you're interested in seeing what I have to say about all this, just keep watching. Well, I just knew you guys would be curious. I'm so glad you guys decided to stay. Okay, the little card that it came in this says, "This collaboration has been a dream come true. I hope this palette makes you happy as it makes me. Thank you for your love and support, Adept Cosmetics and Heather." I'm going to link everything you need to know about Heather Austin and everything about Adept Cosmetics down in the description box below with their links and everything else. So they curated this palette together, and I have to admit, I don't know Heather Austin very well, but from what I've seen with comments and different things like this, I know that she's probably a super amazing human being because there has been nothing but pure love and support for her during this collaboration. I love to see that. Do something a little bit different. So I'm going to show you the palette. I'm going to show you arm swatches, and then I'm going to do eye swatches. Every time I come to a dupe, we're going to put the dupe that everybody's calling a dupe on the second eye so that you can compare. I have thoughts about the duping situation. Okay, it's pretty simple, so I'll get this out now. The duping of this palette, I've watched several people out there try to dupe this palette. The issue that I have with duping this palette is most people are using like 5 or 6 different companies. Some are in palettes, some are singles, and unless you have a humongous collection and you just have those all the same ones laying around as the person that does the video, that's probably slim to none. Most people that are watching don't have a wide variety of all these different, smaller indie brands or whatever else that they're duping it from. So yes, can those things be duped? Yes, if you have those 5 or 6 brands just readily available, and if you're doing singles, you have to have those exact colors in your collection. They may be able to go and dupe the entire palette, but you also have to have those 6 brands to be able to do it and in those specific shades. So why not just buy one whole palette where it's all together? Because if you don't already have that in your collection, you would be purchasing it. So that would be purchasing from 6 different companies, all between palettes, high-end, low-end, and singles to try to dupe this palette. So, and it's not just this palette, it's many palettes I see this done in. Let's just say that you're one of those rare people out there that has everything that they used in duping this palette. I know for me, almost never do I pull 6 different items out to make an eye look. It's almost never going to happen unless I'm doing it specifically for a video. Okay, so if you did have to go buy from 6 different companies or 5 different companies or 4 different companies to complete this palette, why wouldn't you just buy the palette? Because you're probably going to spend more, probably more than double. So you're going to spend more if you really are trying to dupe it. So that doesn't make any sense to me. And then the other thing is that even if you could dupe it with 6 different items, most of the time you're not going to pull 6 different things out to create a look. Most. Okay, if you do, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Just that most don't. Most are not going to pull from 6 different things just to create an eye look. Some of the duping things just don't make sense. And even they have the companies that are out there that actually dupe palettes to a T and just create it for less money. I get that. I understand that. 100%. It's good information to know. Okay, well, this shadow, looks like this shadow, and this, it's good information to know, but I don't think that it's actually beneficial to the people that are watching in the long run.
It's just my opinion. I guess I'll put timestamps just in case you didn't want my opinion. Okay.
This is what it looks like here, and it's always like leather imprinted on the palettes there. And I love this color story. You have the mattes that completely complement the shimmers that are in here. It is gorgeous. I'm going to just hold it up close here. Camera a little bit. Yeah, you can see like the blue. Yeah, it shift from purple to blue there. And then like this one up here is kind of going from a silver to pink flip, maybe to a little bit of green. I love the colors that were picked for the mattes. I love this palette. and I've got to get to know Heather more so that I can find out this person that everybody is just gushing over, because I'm sure she is just a doll. And obviously we have very similar taste in makeup, so I do need to get to know her more. I do want to say, Heather,
I doubt that you'll watch this,
but congratulations. This is huge, and I know that I made a palette, and it was in collaboration with 2 other creators and Gourmande girls. And I know that it's stressful, but I hope that you're not letting the stress get to you and that you are just relishing in this huge accomplishment that a lot of people don't get. So congratulations. This is huge. And I'm so excited for you. And I'm so excited to dip into what you've poured your heart and soul into for probably months at times, if not a year or so into this. So congratulations. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop off here. I'm going to swatch these on my arms. After I do the arm swatches, we'll go immediately into the eye swatches. What I will do there, I'll show you the recommendations for the dupes for this palette. And I've seen swatched, but I haven't seen them side by side. So I'll be able to show you side by side on each eye so that you can see how it would look on the eye, because we all know that swatches are not a true representation of what it actually looks like on the eye. So we will do that. We'll compare the two. I don't have all of them, but I have a few of them, and mainly coming out of the Subculture palette. So I will see you guys in just a second with some arm candy with the swatches coming up next. Okay, guys, you're all zoomed in.
you're welcome.
And we are going to get right into the eye swatches. I can already tell you just by the arm swatches that this is most likely going to be my favorite palette that Adept has ever made, which is crazy because I love a lot of their palettes. And so I cannot wait to get these on my eyes. If I can condense this video enough, I'm going to add a look into this video. And if not, it'll just go in an upcoming video. So I am going to prime my eyes with a moisturizing primer. We will get right into this. When we get to the shades that I have the suggested dupes for, then I will do one on each eye so that you can see actual Adept shadow and the dupe shadow.
Starting off with a flat Sigma brush, going into Smith and putting that all over the lid so that you can see the shift of these shadows. It goes from like yellow to green to orange. It is stunning. It's a high foiled shadow. Really has an impact. Now I'm going into Austin. This is a flakier shade. I probably would use a glitter glue with this typically, but taking it all over the shade, I tried the brush, I did the sponge applicator, and I even sprayed it, and it did work itself out, but it is a little bit harder to work with since it is a flakier formula. Using the right tools, though, you can get this to work perfectly. I use it in my look later on, and wow, it's impactful. Removing and redoing. Now we're going into Hey Y'all, and I'm going to take that all over the lid. It's a beautiful pink. It's like a dusty rose, very shimmery, very beautiful. And I'm going into 0603, taking that over. It's like this cool tone taupe, and it is gorgeous. Removing, and here we go into So Excited. This one is super foiled, very bright. It kind of has a pink tone to it, but it's just gorgeous. Then I'm going on the other side with Passport. It didn't show up as well just by itself, but I put it on my look later on, and oh my goodness, this shade has my heart. Removing, and we're off to Video Chat. Video Chat is this really nice kind of coppery orange, and it is a high foiled shadow, and if you sprayed any of these, they would super foil out, but this is a very pretty shade. It kind of has a little bit of a pink tone also to it. On the other side, I'm putting Scrubs. Scrubs, I had to figure it out. I tried with the brush, I tried with my finger, and then I tried with the flat brush, and then finally I pull out one of the sponge tip applicators, and wow, that was the winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. And that is a stunning shade. It is a multi-chrome. It has like a teal, a blue, a purple shift. It's gorgeous. Now, wiping off, leaving on Scrubs, I'm going to compare it to the JD Glow Anomaly, and I'm going to put that on a sponge tip applicator also. This is a very beautiful shade, but as you can tell, they're very different, and this is the one that was recommended as the dupe, and to me, it doesn't cut it. They're too different, but they're both beautiful. Removing, and now we're going into the mattes. Mythology is the one out of the Adept palette, and I'm putting that on, and it is gorgeous. I love this color. On the other side, I'm using the ABH Subculture palette in Edge. This one has much more of an orange tone to it, and again, this is the one that was suggested as a dupe, and I don't know. I don't think it's similar. And removing. Now we're going on to Atlas from the Adept palette, putting that all over the lid. These mattes are just so smooth. This is a nice transition shade. The ABH Subculture palette has New Wave, and that was the suggestion for the dupe. Putting that all over. This is closer, I think, and it just has more orange tone to it, though. And removing. Now we're going into Magnolia. This is a beautiful green. It's a nice, like, forest green, spreading nicely. And then going in on the other side with Untamed with the ABH Subculture palette. And this is almost a dead ringer for the other shade. So this one was the closest dupe. and removing. And we're going into PaO2, and this is a really pretty plum. Spreading it all over the lid. And then taking All Star on the other side from the ABH Subculture palette, and this one was pretty close. As you'll be able to notice, the lid is a little bit more sheer. But close. It's close.
Okay, guys, so there you have it. There's all the swatches, and I would say the shimmer that was supposed to be the dupe just did not cut it, in my opinion. The other ones were close. The green one was definitely spot on, but the other ones, like, there was some differences. The last one with the eggplant plummy looking one, it was pretty close, that the subculture side was definitely lighter, more see-through. There was some differences. It is close. You could probably get a look very similar with those shades, not the shimmer. I think the shimmer is way off. But yeah, with some of the mattes, absolutely, you could dupe those. But Scrubs is a really pretty shade, but you did notice that I did use different brushes and everything to find the right one to apply it. It is a very soft, putty-like shadow. Wasn't giving me full maximum application until I used the sponge tip applicator. Use that. Perfection. So
Only the future editing Debbie will know whether or not you're going to see a look right now or if you're at the end of this video.
So we are going to get into a look with the Adept Heather Austin palette. I am really excited, and I really don't know which colors I want to use. So after doing all those swatches, I thought I knew which colors I wanted to use, and then I swatched everything, and now I'm just kind of like, I want to use them all. That's kind of where I'm at. So my eyes are already ready and primed, and so we're going to just jump into this and get into a look. I'm going to go into Magnolia. And we're going to just place that right in there. I love Adept shadows. I really do. They're very effortless. Just kind of outlining where I want to place that shadow, trying to keep it even between the two. Color switched my brush, and now I'm going to go into Atlas. I'm going to pick that up on my brush, and I'm going to feed that over from the green, blend those two together to see how well they blend. So far, so good. Very good. I love those shades together. Atlas and Magnolia goes really well together. Just making sure that those blend up well with each other. And my tip for somebody that has hooded eyes like myself, or more mature eyes, is that you don't just leave it like that, because as your eyes open and close throughout the day, that shadow is going to lift. And that's where you see a lot of creasing whenever you have hooded eyes. If you take your shadow, and really if you would go in with a more smaller, denser brush, so let's just use this one here, and you pick it up, you're going to concentrate that right in the areas that's going to get the most movement with your lid. So you're going to want to pack that on and be very generous in those areas, because that way, whenever your eyes move throughout the day, it's kind of just transferring back and forth, but not getting down to the layer of your lid. So that is something that you can do to kind of remedy that with shadows. And so before I go in with the shimmers, I am going to go in and try to do a little bit of something on the top of that Atlas. I'm going to go ahead and take that smaller brush, and I'm going to take Mythology on the edge there, and I want to add it just right on top. Incorporate that color. It kind of overpowered the Atlas color, but it's okay. And I'm going to go ahead and take that smaller brush and go ahead and put that Atlas back in it to kind of show. That really makes it a deep, rich color. All right, now into the fun stuff. I'm going to go into scrubs first. And I'm going to take that. Such a pretty shade. So pretty. And I'm going to take it over most of the lid. That is a stunner. Oh my goodness. I almost need this shade sold in like a jar so I can't run out of it. It's that pretty. I have a feeling that I might just hit pan. It is that, putty style, so you can go through it pretty quickly. Oh my goodness, that is just stunning. Okay, so I'm going to go back in though, just right in the creases and build it up, just right in the crease area on both sides. This is a lot like the Natasha Denona cream to powder formula. That's what it reminds me of too. Okay, I'm going to take a different applicator and I am going to go into Passport. And we're going to take that.
Oh my goodness. This is amazing. Oh, wow.
Oh, that's a stunner. Oh, wow. And it looks beautiful in the monitor, but believe it or not, it looks even more stunning on the eye. It's so pretty. If you want me to change this up and add another video to this video in one, I would say in my...
If I could only keep one out of the Adept Cosmetic palettes that I own, this would be it.
This is not PR, by the way. No, nobody even knows me over there, so just letting you know.
This would be the one I'd keep out of all my Adept palettes, if I only could keep one.
Just so you know. So we don't have to do that video later on,
Okay, and this is like a purpley lavender, but on the eye it turns like this beautiful teal, light blue, light mint green goodness with a purple flip, maybe yellow too. I don't know. It's gorgeousness. That Passport
is first class.
It's beautiful. Come on, you can see it. You can see it. I'm not telling you anything that you're not witnessing with your own eyes right now. You see it. Don't you deny it. Come on now. Dupe that. No. No. And you always know when I love a shadow because all of a sudden it starts to take over the entire eye. That's what happens. Okay, now I'm going to go back and layer some of that scrubs back over top of it. We'll just mix these in together. Make sure that's nice and blended. And oh, they blend so beautifully. Let's go ahead and do the lower lash line. And I'm going to go into PaO2, which is the plummy looking matte. And we're going to spray it. And if you're new here and you haven't heard this a bazillion times, why I spray my mattes underneath the eye is because it makes them last a lot longer and it really makes them very opaque. So pretty. It really does make a difference. If you wet your mattes, that's going to stay underneath your eyes for most of the day. Okay, and we're going to play with, hey y'all, get that up, and we're going to spray that also. My goodness. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take, going to be a little different, and I'm going to go in with Smith right in that very last part. Oh, that's so I'm going to add something right in the center of the inner eye just to amp up just right in that and make that pop. So I'm going to go into Austin. My son's name is Austin, one of my sons. So very special shade for me. It is more of a flakier shade. Those flaky shades are usually the most impactful shades. And it looks like this really light blue in the pan, but it's just like this orange, pink, red fire shade. It's just stunning. I love this so much. Okay, so I'm going to pop off here. I'm going to put in a liner, going to finish out my face, and I'm going to come back with the final look. Okay, guys, this is my final look. Okay, it didn't turn out so spring-like, but y'all know I like a dark, grungy kind of look anyways, so we kind of went there. Y'all saw what I did with the eyes. All I add to it was the Urban Decay Glide On Pencil in Deep End, really bright teal in the waterline, and then on my lips, what I used was the Juvia's Place Black Lippy. It's brand new. Been looking for a new lippy that's black. This is, how to pronounce. No. This is a black lippy in. I'm such a child. Ugh.
This black lippy and doo-doo.
Oh, it's unfortunate that I did this in the middle of the night because I'm not gonna be able to hold it together. I hope nobody finds this disrespectful because it's not, because it means a completely different thing in my language. So I know that it means black in African language, but here it means completely different. But nevertheless, this is the Juvia's Place Black Lippy in Doo-Doo. I'm gonna be absolutely unable to do this. I'm just gonna show you the label. Okay. Juvia's Place. This is the Juvia's Place lippy. I can't do it. How? This is setting me up. This is just literally setting me up for failure. Okay. I did find a black lippy that I wanted to try in the Juvia's Place Liquid Lips, and it is that right there. And I like how it feels. I'm not sure how it wears because I decided to top it with Passport, which is so crazy because it does, I mean, Passport is right there and on the lips, and like it looks lavender in the palette. And then I put the Catrice lip oil right in the center on top of the shadow. And so it gave it a really pretty metallic, like shifty look to it, and I love it. This is my final look. I love this palette. I will leave all the information down in the description box below, and I hope you guys enjoyed this very long, very thorough video of this palette. I honestly don't do this kind of review very often, but this palette just blew my socks off. I absolutely love it. And so, Heather, congratulations. This is amazing. Something to be extremely proud of, because it is amazing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that you guys all have a blessed day. Take care. Bye-bye. I'm just killing. I don't like that saying. I don't like killing two birds with one stone. I don't like that saying. But I'm knocking different things out of the park. And it's in the middle of the night, so as the night goes on, it gets a little crazy around here, so I'm just saying. Okay.